Recently, I got the Google Pixel 6. Hey everybody, it is finally after football season, which means we can actually do another video. First comes the lock screen, of course, and it comes with the fingerprint reader. The fingerprint reader is pretty reactive. It's not super slow, but it's kind of picky on the thumbprint. So when you set up the reader, you really have to follow the directions and do the edges. There's the Google Home app, which you can turn your lights on and off without hitting the thumb reader and getting into your phone. There's also the Google Pay on the side of the corner of the home screen where you can use your Google Pay. But I haven't personally used the Google Pay yet because there hasn't been a place that has it. And then you have your standard time and date on the front screen. The battery. Most controversial part of the Google Pixel, I feel like. A lot of reviews said it would only last 3.5 hours, but I'm not sure how intensely they've been reusing the phone. I would think I'm about slightly above average, and it lasts me all day. So I don't have any issues with my phone going dead. I actually left it for 2 days, and I still had 20% by midday, late afternoon. So it lasted 2 days. I do seem to use the battery saver on the phone sometimes, and that saved the battery. When you do this, you don't get auto updates of like your email and stuff, but for me that's okay because I check it anyway. So in general, the battery, I think it does very, very well. The next aspect that we're going to talk about is the volume control on the side of the phone. This seems really convenient and it's super easy to use. When you first touch the up down, it just generally turns your volume up and down. And then there's a button where you can do vibrate, ring, or silent. And then you can go to more settings, which is a small little round circle. When you go up and down on the volume, will allow you to manually change each setting like volume, ringer, notifications, etc. So that's very simple to use.
The microphone on the Pixel 6 is where you really get to see the Tensor chip stretch its legs. Its processing of the audio is up there with RTX voice. It's incredible. Background noises are reduced and your voice is more pronounced even when the microphone is further away, like this example.
That will allow you to manually change each setting like alerts, volume, ringer, notifications, etc. So that's very simple to use.
I'm really impressed with the audio improvements over the Pixel 4 and 5, and it's the best microphone I've heard in a cell phone, hands down. The iPhone doesn't even come close.
The call quality, in which I feel like it's better than the Google Pixel 4a that I had. I have a much clearer voice to other people. They hear me a lot better. And as far as me hearing them, I feel it's just as clear as the Google Pixel 4a. I don't have any issues with it.
A lot better than the iPhone, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is better than the iPhone, I feel like. As far as video quality goes, we've looked at it a few times and it's not bad, but I wouldn't say it's the best. iPhone 13 probably does have a little better video quality than the Google Pixel 6, but the pictures are beautiful. But we'll talk about that later in another video, as there seems to be a lot of aspects to hit in the wheelhouse of the kit. We're actually recording this video on the Google Pixel video right now. You're gonna be getting an excellent judgment of how we really think this video is. You can also get your own opinion developed from this video, as you'll be able to see it directly of what the video looks like. Widgets seem to be pretty cool in this Google Pixel 6. I haven't really ever had widgets before. I have played with them a little bit and they're very convenient. You can get them for the weather, the calendar, your fitness, and even your bank account. And I really think they're convenient because you can change the color and size. The pull-down menu has many great options on it. It includes the power saver mode, the power button. It also has Google Pay on there with your flashlight, Spotify, phone brightness, and plus many other things that you can do. There's 2 or 3 pages worth. Okay, so my new favorite part, you can schedule text messages. I love this because I can now make sure Will picks up Ivy from daycare and I can send him a text and not have to remember to send him a text at 6 p.m. so he doesn't forget our dog, because he seems to do that sometimes. Or remind yourself to do something, because you could send him to yourself technically. Another cool thing that I think is relatively new, I could be wrong, so don't quote me on it, is the Find My Device. And personally, I think it does just as good of a job as Find My iPhone. Keeps up with all of your devices. It even still keeps track of my Google Pixel 4a. You literally click the app and it tracks everything, and it'll play a sound to whatever device that you need to find. When you make an emergency call, a video will actually start on the phone, which I think is very cool. Obviously, I haven't ever done it and I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it and seen some other reviews about it, and I think that's a really awesome feature. New connection between the Google Pixel 6 and my Fossil watch. The Pixel 4a was not very efficient at staying connected to the watch, and you cannot receive text messages. But now, since I've had my Pixel 6, that every time I text, I actually receive the message and I can reply using Google Assistant. I just talk to text and then send it. I highly recommend it. It's just like, has the Google Fit, it will track all that. So your running and your steps, heart rate, etc. This is a great update that has really helped and makes it very comparable to the Apple Watch because of all the capabilities that it has.
Now, we already know that the processor in the Pixel 6 is much improved over the Pixel 5 or the Pixel 4a. But what's more impressive is that it's also improved over Google's last flagship phone, the Pixel 4 XL. In fact, the Tensor chip is up there with the Snapdragon 888, which is an 8-core processor. Now, Google's Tensor Core only has 4 cores, so when you look at the Geekbench scores, you see that the Snapdragon 888 far outperforms the multi-core score over the Tensor. What I find impressive is that a 4-core CPU is able to do so well against an 8-core CPU, mainly due to the single-core performance being equal to, and in some cases even greater than, the Snapdragon 888. Where we see a big win for the Google Tensor chip is in GPU performance. 3D Mark as well as OpenGL show that the Tensor chip is really focused on graphics. The bottom line, when it comes to performance, you don't have to worry about having enough processing power on the Pixel 6. It is plenty for whatever you're gonna do.
All right, that's it for this just overview video. We'll be coming back to you here in probably the next few days with the video about camera, and we're also actually gonna do a video about the Pixel Buds. It's overall a great phone, and we think that Google is heading in the right direction. It is probably one of the best phones that Google has put out, and we think it's definitely worth the money, and we'll see y'all next time for the camera video of the Google Pixel 6. Okay, everybody. Oh, Lord. Definitely been my favorite phone. It's very bright out here. We'll probably have to try again.
You want to try that?
Yeah. All right, that's it, y'all.